I've been loving doing the theme team rebuilds on the channel lately, but this is probably going to be the goofiest one I've done yet, because today I put together a team of the heaviest players at every position in the NFL, of course including 415-pound Desmond Watson, and our goal today is obviously going to be trying to turn this into the best roster in the league, and of course trying to win this team a Super Bowl by the end of this. Now, I'll get into the rules of this rebuild in just a second, but if you enjoy the video and want to see more like this, more goofy theme team rebuilds, be sure to leave a like, and if we can get to 1,500 likes on this video, it'll let me know y'all want to see another one. And let me know down in the comments what theme team I should do next. I could do like tallest, fastest. I've seen comments telling me to do an all-white team rebuild. Don't know about that one, but if this video gets 1,500 likes, I guess I'll just do the most liked comment, so obviously give a shout out to whichever one gets the most likes. And then very last thing, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Less than 15k away from 100k, that's insane. If you like Madden rebuilds, that's literally all I do. But alright, without further ado, let's get into this. Unsurprisingly, our best two scheme fits are multiple power run and 46 defense. Makes sense. But this is the rare time we actually get to start one of these challenges with a decent roster. The only problem with this team is it's a little bit old. Jordan Mailata and AJ Brown are getting close to 30. Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, Vita Vea are all 30 plus. Same with Jalen Ramsey. So the team's good now, but there will be work we have to do to it in the future, the very near future. So this could end up being harder than it looks. But of course, Anthony Richardson is gonna be our QB, 250 pounds. For some reason, I didn't realize he was that big. So we'll hope he can develop. I don't know if Madden has good heavy QBs in its draft classes. I hope we don't have to find out. Oh yeah, and the rules. I'm just gonna use the same rules I always use for these theme team rebuilds. In free agency, I can sign any of the 3 heaviest players available at any position, and we can draft any of the 3 heaviest players available at every position. I think that's how I did it. I think I might have done 5 players for one of those. We'll see how 3 goes though. But alright, enough yapping, let's get into this. And we'll just have to see how this team does on its own with no help. The only thing that scares me is this pass rush, but we'll see how we do. Okay, we end up going 10-7. I actually decided to go with the Eagles offensive playbook. I think I did that in the Ravens rebuild I did too, but it's just a little more pass heavy than the Ravens, but still gets some QB runs. I wanted to actually use this insane receiver trio, which is really playing with negative morale for some reason. I don't know why, but whatever. But Anthony Richardson, almost 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks. Not bad. Derrick Henry, the biggest back in the league, 1,400 yards, 5.4 per carry, 12 touchdowns. Anthony Richardson didn't do a whole lot on the ground, but he was okay. But not much for receiving still. I mean, AJ Brown got 15 receiving touchdowns, but only 900 yards as our number one. Tucker Fisk had almost as many receiving yards as DK Metcalf. More receptions too. That's fun. But possibly the most interesting thing with this team is Vita Vea had 21 sacks. Excuse me? The most he's ever had in his career is apparently 7. He barely has 21 combined career sacks, but he got 21 this season somehow. All right. Also, Keon White, 12.5 sacks. Marcus Davenport, 10.5. I said our pass rush was going to be an issue, but it was like maybe the best part of our team for some reason. And then picks, 4 for Ramsey, 2 for Douglas, and 1 for 4 different players. Weird season. But Jalen Hurts wins MVP, so hey, maybe the Ravens or Eagles offensive playbook is good. We'll see. I mean, I know it's pretty good, but that gives me even more hope. AJ Brown still somehow 10th for Offensive Player of the Year without getting 1,000 yards. All right. Vita Vea all the way down at 3 for Defensive Player of the Year. What did Chris Jones do? I know there wasn't another defensive tackle that got more than 21 sacks, right? I mean, I thought that said 100 tackles for loss. I mean, he got a quarter of the way there. 100 tackles for a defensive tackle, 25 TFLs, 17.5 sacks. Okay, I get it. Sure. Dude might have broke 3 records. But of course, we are in the playoffs here, having the all too common Harbaugh Bowl. I feel like I see this at least once in every rebuild. I mean, not every rebuild, but I'm sure if I looked hard enough, we would see it. We are going to be taking on the Chargers. I mean, it's unlikely we win a Super Bowl with this team in year 1, but we'll see. I don't think there's anyone I want to bench, so can we beat the Chargers? 38-17. We blow out the Chargers. Proven size does matter, but we are going to be taking on the Chiefs in the divisional. I would be more scared in other Madden Madden games of the Chiefs. I'm scared to say the Chiefs aren't as good in simulation in Madden 26, because now they're gonna beat us, but they're usually not as good in Madden 26 as they have been in other games. So let's see what happens here. Can't wait to get beat 40-0. No, we do beat them 24-17, holding our opponent to 17 points again. And just like that, we are in the conference championship, a conference championship rematch from like 13 years ago, whenever that was, I don't know. Can we already make a Super Bowl with this team? We can. We beat the Broncos 35-14. I don't know what's gotten into us in the playoffs. We weren't that good in the regular season. I guess we were pretty good towards the end of the year, but we are going to be taking on the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl, a team that I don't think we took any players from, so they're one of the lucky ones here, I guess. But we'll jump in and we'll see what happens. But all right, here we go in the Super Bowl, hopefully our first of many in this rebuild. I definitely didn't think we would get here year one. You know, we have a good team, but definitely an interesting team. I don't care about the Packers. Show our obesity squad. Where are we at? There we go. The big boys out here. Nobody under like 235. Not even our kicker or punter. I forgot to show them. They're both like 240 and 250. But hopefully we can get the win here. So let's simulate to the end of the game and we will see what happens. The Packers do score first, unfortunately, but we do tie it up at 7 in the second quarter. Our defense is not doing its job. We are down 17-10 in the third, but we do tie it. The Packers do score another touchdown, but we stop them. Man, our offense is falling flat, and we are gonna lose 31-17. But hey, it's only year one. We still have like 5 more chances. But yeah, by the way, like I was saying, we have Harrison Mevis, the thicker kicker. Is that who? I would assume that's who this is. Or was that Randy Bullock's nickname? No, I don't know. I think it's Harrison Mevis, 240, and then Presley Harvin, 255. Dude should be playing on the D line, not punter. But this might be a rough first off season. I'm thinking about turning off cap space, because for some reason we have negative 81 mil in cap space. I don't know if it's because of the players I released, like the Ravens players. I'll clear our cap penalties. If that'll actually do anything, we'll see. And I guess I'll restructure all the deals I can. We actually do have positive cap space now. I don't know what I just clicked. Dion Cox? I don't know what that name is. We definitely run the ball. Is this like our new OC? I don't know. I don't care. But I think we're gonna lose Leo Chenal, Mike Evans, Tariq Woolen, Najee Harris, Marcus Davenport. We have the 5th year for Anthony Richardson. We'll pick that up. Daniel Falele, AJ Dillon. We're gonna need some new players. We'll probably get these players back at some point in the future, but I don't like doing rebuilds with cap space off, so we're just gonna deal with the consequences of that. We can tag one though. Who should we tag? Maybe Chenal? I kind of want to tag Davenport though, because he did pretty well. I don't know. We'll go with Chenal, I think. It's only 9 mil. Okay. Doesn't even put us too far in the hole. But all right, let's get to our first draft. No free agency for this first year, unfortunately, but I mean, we're still looking pretty good. Could be worse. You know, I would say maybe don't play Vita Vea at edge, but he did just have 21 sacks for some reason, so sure, why not? But all right, in the draft, we of course pick at 31, the most painful pick you can have. I focus scouted some linemen this year. There's Cam Goldson, he's 330 pounds, first round talent. I think he is the heaviest left tackle. Or no, there's Tomlinson that's a little heavier, and Fiore, whatever that last name is, but he's 3rd, he's top 3, so that counts. I focus scouted a center, Triplet. He's a top 5 talent, projected to go at 24 though, so he's probably gonna be gone. And I don't know if we should trade up because we do have quite a few needs. I mean, to edge our focus position, I didn't even really look who the best ones are. We're gonna have to play 3-4 DNs at edge because EA didn't take them out. That's fun. At least this guy looks decent and draftable. But all right, we'll just see who's available at 31. Hopefully at least Goldson. Looks like Triplet went at 21. Goldson went too? Goldson went first. He went at 19. Triplet went at 21. Well, that sucks. Jonathan Whitworth isn't quite big enough, which is weird because he's 298 pounds at edge, but they're 300-pound plus edge rushers because that makes sense. We could go with Elijah Sims. That might be our best bet. All the corners are gone too. I didn't even really look at which corners were the heaviest, at least not yet. yet. They're all really light, but I guess we'll just reach because we kind of have to. Let's go with Elijah Sims out of Washington State. That's fun, I guess. Rank 77, got him at 31, normal dev. That's about what I expected. But all right, round 2. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have looked at tight ends. We do need a tight end. Loftus looks, well, he has good hands, but that's about it. Collins looks okay. I'm surprised one of the blocking tight ends aren't the biggest. Like, Duran's only 248. I guess Cabrera's pretty big. Does he have elite strength? Great strength. Let's just go with Velasco. He looks decent. Probably normal dev, but maybe hidden. Rank 55, better than the last pick, normal dev. Not our best first off season. I mean, I don't know how much there was that I could have done. I guess we could have traded up, but again, we have a lot of needs, so I didn't want to. But all right, there's a 235-pound tight end with elite strength. Okay. But let's go with Nick Collins, I guess. He might be okay. He's elite strength, but he was 10th for bench press? What? Okay, sure. He's probably not great, but rank 156, maybe hidden? No, that was a tough draft. But all right, here's how we did in the draft. It was something. We got 3 starters at least. Not good starters necessarily, but 3 starters. Sims is a 72, Velasco's a 73, and Collins is a 67. And then I picked some players at positions we needed depth, and they're not super great. All around 65 overalls. I really wish we could have gotten Triplet. I guess even he's barely a top 5 talent, but would have been nice. Damn, the Rams. Glad we're not in their division. They had a draft. But all right, we'll get into year 2, and we'll hope we can somehow do as well as last year. For now, that's the goal. It's not to be better. It's to be as good as last year, because we lost a lot of players. We should be able to sign some free agents this offseason, though. I think our cap is gonna be a little more normal. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into year 2. We're actually up to an 85 overall. I don't know how we went up in overall, but we did. We have an 87 overall offense, 83 overall defense. Our defense isn't too great, but hopefully it can outperform that a little bit. I'm getting a little worried about our corners because they're all around 30 or older. Hopefully we can have some better drafts than the one we just had. We'll see though. But yeah, hopefully our O-line can hold up now with DeJuan Jones starting at right tackle. But new tight end, and I almost called him Nick Collins. No more Mike Evans, but it should be fine. It's still a good offense. But all right, let's get to the midseason point and we will see how we do. I doubt we do as well as last year, but I guess you never know. But all right, at the midseason, we are 4-2, not bad at all. Our offense is a lot worse this year for some reason, but our defense is still really good. Do I need to think about using the Ravens defensive playbook? Like, I like the Vikings. The Vikings usually works well for me, but I mean, Vita Vea has just been carrying. I guess he's not doing as well this year as he was last year, but still on pace for what would be a career year for him in real life, at least in terms of sacks. What's going on with our offense, though? Okay, Jordan Mailata, one of the biggest underperformers in Madden Simulation, isn't doing great, but other than that, it looks good. I don't know. We'll just hope it gets better. I think our defense will end up being like 5th, and our offense will end up being like 15th, hopefully, at least for points per game. We have a D-line breakout, though. Who's this? Probably, well, no, Vita Vea already has X Factor. I don't know. Desmond Watson. Hopefully he can hit that. I've been starting him over T'Vondre Sweat just because, you know, he is the biggest player in the league. I don't think he's 415 pounds anymore, but he was at one point, so hopefully he can develop even more. But for re-signings, we still don't have cap space. We have 15 mil and we have to re-sign Leo Chenal, Vita Vea, Mike Nwenu, Keon White, Mekhi Becton, Marty Mapu, Desmond Watson. He'll be our first priority. He's not super cheap though, but we'll go 4 years, 33. He does take it. Hopefully we have more cap at the end of the year, man. There are a lot of players we have to re-sign. Good Lord. Where is all our cap space going? We don't have like any cap penalty anymore. I mean, it probably doesn't help that I have Lamar as our long snapper with this kind of contract, but we'll be able to get rid of him eventually. I just couldn't release him because it was too big of a penalty. But all right, 7 mil. I guess we'll just save this until the end of the year and hope our cap goes up somehow. I'll re-sign Harrison Mevis, I guess. But all right, let's get to the end of the year and let's hope we do well. Might lose even more players this year. Ooh, okay, we do end up making the playoffs, but barely. We end up going 9-8. It looks like we were at least 7-8 at one point. We thankfully thankfully won the last 2 games of the year. Okay, our team completely flipped. We ended up with the 8th best offense, but 18th on defense for points per game. Oh, probably because I think it averages it out wrong, because we had only played 6 games at the mid-season, but it averaged it out like we played 7, so that's why it showed our defense hadn't allowed many points, because we technically didn't allow many total points because we had played 6 games. I wish anything in this game worked. So yeah, 8th best offense. That's why it looked like our offensive numbers were good and our defensive numbers weren't that good. Love this game. But Anthony Richardson, 4,100 yards, 34 touchdowns, 13 picks, sacked a few more times than last year. Sacked, what, 18 more times? 18 more times than last year. Derrick Henry was still good. AJ Brown, 1,500 yards, 20 touchdowns. Ooh, Mike Nwainu and Cooper Beebe were awful. But Leo Chenal, 120 tackles, 8 TFLs for Keon White led the team, 10.5 sacks for Vita Vea. Not 21, but still insane. 6.5 for Keon White. 4.5 for Watson. He was pretty good. Only 4 for Elijah Sims as a rookie, though. But picks, 4 for Douglas, 3 for Edmonds and Ramsey, 2 for Chenal, and 1 for a few players. So we're getting a good amount of picks. Didn't get too many sacks this year, though. But Jalen Hurts wins another MVP. No Anthony Richardson up here. I thought we would see him at like 9 or 10, but not yet. But AJ Brown does win Offensive Player of the Year. No Vita Vea for Defensive Player of the Year this year. But let's see. Nick Collins at 6 for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Sean Howard at 8. I definitely remember who that is. I think that's like our 3rd running back or something. And then Elijah Sims at 6 for Defensive Rookie of the Year. At least we got Offensive Player of the Year, I guess. But let's see. I'm gonna at least bench Cooper Beebe. Should we try Gerard Hufford? I don't even know who this is. I'd like to think I know almost every NFL player, but I don't know who Gerard Hufford is. But apparently he's big. But all right, now up to an 86 overall. We should be able to beat the Jets here, even though they had the better record. Let's see. I don't have much faith, but we'll see. We lose 31-21. All right. Still at least 3 more years, maybe 4. But this is gonna be another tough offseason, probably. Still negative 3 mil in cap. We can release Lamar now, which is weird. Weird thing to, be happy about. It's a big penalty, but it still saves a ton. And definitely get rid of Brandon Stevens. Why is he getting paid that much? I mean, I know the Jets gave him a big contract, but still. Might bring him back in free agency, but not for that much money. All right, and let's restructure, I guess, all of our deals. I mean, now we might be okay with 48 mil. We'll re-sign Leo Chenal. We'll go 6 years, 83. He takes it. Vita Vea will go very player-friendly. Hopefully he takes this. It's a long deal and not cheap. 3 years, 103. He doesn't take it. Well, guess what? You're getting tagged. Okay, now let's restructure some deals. We do need to. Back up to 44 mil. Keon White, I guess we'll go 4 years, 70. He does take it. Mike Nwainu, hopefully he does better than last year, but I mean, should we keep him? We'll see. Mekhi Becton, we'll go 3 years, 59. He takes it. He's been good. Hasn't been that good for the Chargers in real life this year, but been good here. Mapu will go 4 years, 28. And then I guess for now, at least, we'll just have to let the rest of these guys go. I do kind of want to keep Presley Harvin, just because it's kind of funny that he's 255 pounds. He resigns. Gonna lose Joe Milton, unfortunately, but just a backup. So once again, no free agency, unfortunately, but let's get to the draft. But all right, this year in the draft, we pick at 21. The Texans have the #1 overall pick. Deserved. But we do need a corner pretty desperately. I think, let me see. Okay, yeah, we did lose Mike Jackson. I couldn't remember if Ramsey or Douglas retired, but neither of them did. I thought at least one of them did. So we need a corner. We maybe need a pass rusher, but I don't know if we can worry about that yet. And we need 2 linemen. So we do have our work cut out for us in this draft. I did see some pretty good linemen, but ooh, Ben Bright is still here. 1st-round talent at guard. He is definitely big enough. At 338, he's the 2nd biggest left guard. Yeah. Oh, Joel Tolbert, is he big enough? I don't think he is. No, there are 3 guards bigger than him. There's Monk at 338, there's Edmond at 337, and Eisen at 338. So he's 4th. I mean, Bright is still good. All right, we'll take him. Elite strength. He could be a top 10 talent. Looks pretty good. Ranked number 8, he is. 95 strength, 72 speed, 78 excel at 338 pounds. Hidden dev, we'll take it. But all right, round 2, we could trade down this pick because I didn't really see a great corner that's big enough. Joshua Wilson's good, but he's only 186. Definitely not big enough. And then the 3rd to 4th round talents. Demarius Richardson's draftable. He's 209, but like he's only a third to fourth. I guess we do need him though. We do need another lineman even, so I guess we could go Monk. He's supposed to go at 114. Richardson's supposed to go at 113. Okay, well I guess we're not trading down probably. Let's go Richardson first. Rank 107, that's fine. I knew he was gonna be a reach as a third to fourth round talent. No dev trait though. And all right, let's go with Amari Monk out of Oregon. Left-handed, just like me for real. Seems like a good 50% of the players are left-handed. Like, I don't know why, but it's interesting. We'll go Monk. Rank 69, got him at 85. Hidden dev, thankfully. Much better draft than last year. I mean, the corner was a reach, but we were desperate for corner. Wait, was Monk big enough? Yeah, I think he was. Sometimes in these challenges, I forget about the rules and I just take a good player. But yeah, Monk was 338, I think. I think we're good, I hope. And you know what? Let's also go Keontae Taylor. We'll see if he has hidden dev. We'll just take a chance. He's a slot, so he might. He's 202. He's tied for the second biggest corner. Rank 99, got him at 117. Normal dev, all right. I had to try. Okay, for some reason I wasn't thinking and I just simulated the rest of the draft out. I guess Hancock is pretty big for an elusive back, 213, but we'll probably have to release him. I don't know why I did this. I think we'll have to get rid of all these players. Maybe I'll trade him for like a different player that got drafted. I don't know. But Ben Bright, 78 overall. He's good, very good. He'll be a starter for us, obviously. He should hopefully do better than Mike Nwenu. And then Demarius Richardson and Keontae Taylor are 70 overalls, and Amari Monk is a 73, and he is big enough, thankfully, 338. Kind of wish we could have taken Joel Tolbert, because he is an 81 overall, but I mean, just barely wasn't one of the 3 heaviest right guards, so it is what it is. I keep forgetting I can't click on players because it crashes the game when I close out. Again, love this game. Nothing wrong with it. Never seen that before. That's fun. But all right, here's a look at the team heading into year 3. We're a little bit lower of an overall from last year. We're only an 84 at the start of this year, but we should develop throughout the year. We have, you know, a couple rookies starting on the O-line, a year 2 tight end. Anthony Richardson is still young. Some year 2 players on defense. Maybe we won't develop that much on defense, but hopefully. This has been tougher than I expected to keep this team together. Eventually, we're going to have a lot of cap space. I just don't know when. Thought it was going to be last offseason. Maybe it'll be this offseason. I don't know. But yeah, y'all know the team by this point. Anthony Richardson's up to an 83. He's the number, still only 21 ranked for QBs, but still up to an 83 at least. But all right, let's get into the season, and we'll hope we can make the playoffs for the 3rd time in 3 years. But okay, at the midseason point, we are 4-3. Is this the 3rd year in a row we've had 4 wins at the midseason? I can't remember year 1. I don't think I showed year 1 in the video, but I think we were 4-3 then. Our defense kind of sucks still. I mean, it's not good on paper, so I don't know if it's a playbook issue, but I just always assume it's a playbook issue because playbooks are the only thing that matters pretty much. But for re-signings, we still have a pretty good amount. Tavondre Sweat, Vita Vea, Cooper Beebe, Anthony Richardson, Tremaine Edmonds, Cade Wooten, who I traded for. I just traded one of the players that the CPU picked for him. Derrick Henry, Rasul Douglas, same deal with Will Thomas. So still not out of the woods yet or whatever. But we'll go 4 years, 92 for Sweat. We don't even really use him though, but I mean, eventually we will win. Vita Vea retires. He doesn't take it. Vita Vea will go 3 years, 98. He takes it, thankfully. Now down to 20 mil. I probably should have started with Anthony Richardson. So we'll save the rest of this cap space for the end of the year. I do want Wooten actually before he develops too much. We'll go 4 years, 10. He takes it for some reason. But all right, we'll see how the defense ends up doing. If it's bad, again, I might change the defensive playbook. We'll see. We end up going 13-4. We only lost 1 more game on the rest of the year. We lost the last game of the year 42-14 to the Chargers. We got smoked, but I mean, we beat the Patriots 31-0. I guess the rest of our games were pretty close, but these 2 were at least double digits against the Raiders and 49ers. The Chargers game at the end of the year scares me, but Anthony Richardson, 4,100 yards, 36 touchdowns, 12 picks, very similar year to last year, right? Yeah, really similar. Derrick Henry was still good at age 33. AJ Brown, 1,400 yards and 25 receiving touchdowns, almost 1,000 for DK. Well, there's the Jordan Mailata I know and love in Madden. 19 sacks allowed as a 99 overall. Love this game. The rest of the line was good though, because they're like 20 overall lower than him. Oh, Ben Bright has superstar. That's huge. But Leo Chenal, 127 tackles, 14 TFLs for Keon White, sacks 13.5 for Keon White, led the team, 6 for Chenal. At least once per rebuild, an off-ball lineman linebacker gets a bunch of sacks for us. I don't know why. I didn't play him at edge, but he got a lot of sacks. Elijah Sims, only 3.5. Gross. But Ramsey, 4 picks, 2 for Chenal and 1 for 4 different players. So our defensive numbers still weren't great other than Keon White. But MVP goes to Joe Burrow. Anthony Richardson at 5. Hopefully we can re-sign him. We should be able to. A.J. Brown wins Offensive Player of the Year. Keon White, number 6 for Defensive Player of the Year. And then no Ravens for any awards, unfortunately, other than number 10 for Trevor Burris. But all right, very, very good season. We might have to bench our 99 overall left tackle because that makes sense. But other than that, I don't think there's anyone for us to bench in the playoffs here. Nobody was bad on defense, at least too horrible, other than maybe Elijah Sims. But all right, who are we going to be taking on in the divisional? It is going to be our division rival, the Cincinnati Bengals, with MVP Joe Burrow. They had a slightly better offense than us, but we had a slightly better defense. So this should be a pretty close game, theoretically. It was, but we lose 34-29. 29's a weird score to put up. That's interesting. Man, after that first year, the playoffs have not been going well for us. We've made the playoffs 3 out of 3 years, but first round exits in back-to-back years. Let me see what went wrong in that game. I'm curious. Let's see. Anthony Richardson was pretty good. Rushing looks pretty good. Looks like our pass rush did really well, and we only allowed 1 sack. I don't know how we lost. We put up better numbers than them. Well, I guess 5 passing touchdowns from Joe Burrow would do it, but I mean, he also sacked him 5 times. I'm surprised he did all that. So I guess just our secondary got cooked. Well, I set corner as our 3-star position for the draft, so we're definitely going to be taking some DBs. But all right, for re-signings, we have Tavondre Sweat, Cooper Beebe, Anthony Richardson still. Definitely want Anthony Richardson back. We'll have to go very player-friendly, unfortunately, which is not going to be cheap. Hopefully he takes it, though. 5 years, 285. He doesn't take it, so we're going to have to tag him, which is probably going to be... I mean, do we think it would be fine to let him hit free agency? The tag's only 57 mil, though. I thought it was going to be like 70, at least. So that's fine. Sweat, I'll go very player-friendly and up it a little bit. I mean, we just went 13-4. I don't know why these players really don't want to come back, but 5 years, 151. He doesn't take it. Why? Cooper Beebe, how has he been doing? He resigns. All right. And then I guess we'll just let the rest of these guys go. I'll maybe resign a couple, but like, we're still not looking great in terms of cap space. We might be able to sign a free agent this year, though, if we want to. We do need a running back. Derrick Henry did finally retire. All right, well, that's what we should do in free agency. Looks like Rasul Douglas also retired. Vita Vea didn't retire, though. What is he now, 34? 33? Okay. Ooh, Josh Jacobs is here. I don't know if he's big enough at 220, but we'll see. Okay, no, he's not. I guess our best option is Braylon Allen. He is the biggest running back in free agency at 235. I don't know if he'll do well, but we need a running back. It's either him or Zach Charbonnet. So we'll see if he signs. The Ravens also want him. We do get him, though. Oh, or the Ravens. The Bengals also want him, but we do get him. But we're probably still going to look to draft a running back just so we have like a more long-term option, because I don't know if Braylon Allen's going to develop that well or even play that well to begin with. But we probably need a linebacker, probably need a defensive tackle, definitely need a corner. We got some work to do on defense. I guess we kind of have this whole rebuild, but now we really do. But in the draft, I don't know where we pick because the game doesn't want to show me. We pick at 28. All right. Steelers have the #1 pick. I guess, you know, it's good to see that as the Ravens. Good to see they were the worst team in the league. Unfortunately, I saw the Bengals sign Tavondre Sweat, so that's not great. But also kind of bad news. There really isn't a corner we can take this year. The biggest first-round talent is Jabari Clinton. Weird name. He's 203, but he's not one of the 3 biggest corners. The best one we can take is, I think, the biggest corner, Marquise Stamper. I also focus scouted a safety, Jackson Evans. He's not bad. I was thinking we could just take him and move him to corner because, you know, he would be the 2nd biggest corner. I feel like that's fair. He's not one of the 3 biggest safeties, but we're not going to play him at safety. Oh, this defensive tackle looks really, really good. We can't take him because he's 289, and we don't have the #1 pick, but still. But all right, let's get to pick 28. We'll see who's available. I did focus scout some running backs too. Are they good? One of them looked decent. Okay, Jackson is pretty good first to second round talent. There's one down here that looked okay. Second to third, he's better than I expected. I thought he would be like day 3, but not horrible. I kind of want Tyson Lewis, but he's just barely not big enough. He doesn't look that good. All right, anyway, Evans is supposed to go at 63. Jackson's supposed to go at 54. I don't know if we can get both. Both are probably gonna have normal dev. That's the issue too, because first to second round talent, power back, they almost always have normal. Hybrid first to second round talent, safety, they almost always have normal. It might be better to just take, I don't know, Stamper might also have normal. I guess we can also get him round 3 though, maybe. All right, let's go with Joey Jackson. We'll see. Hopefully he has hidden. If he has hidden, I'll start him. Rank 29, got him at 28. Pretty good value pick, technically. Does have hidden. Okay, good. Probably gonna be our starter. And all right, round 2, hopefully the safety's still here. Doesn't look like he is. Is the corner still here? He is. Okay, good. Marquise Stamper out of USC. I really wish the safety was here because I kind of want another corner, but rank 70, got him at 60. That's fine. Normal dev though. And what should we do now? Do need a linebacker. We do have one with superstar though, but I mean, we should probably take another one. Ben Camp doesn't look horrible. I think he is big enough. No, maybe not. Never mind. I might take a chance on CJ Paxton. He doesn't look great, but he at least has okay speed. He'd be really, really big at corner. Probably the biggest corner in the league at 225. Probably the biggest corner in the league by 10 pounds, I think. I just don't know if he's actually good. If he has B-man, I would feel good about him. If he has C-man, I wouldn't feel good about him. Rank 163. Okay, apparently doesn't have B-man. Ooh, this guy looks good. Unfortunately, we can't take him, but Jack McCormick, A spec catch, B deep route, 429 speed. If we were doing the smallest team, he's 178. All right, whatever. I'll just go with Quentin Byers because he's decent. Second to third round talent. Rank 79, got him at 124. Good third running back, I guess. But all right, here's how he did in the draft. It was not amazing. I'm sure there are still some teams we did better than. The next team I check, the Saints had the number 7 pick and only got 273 overalls. So I guess not too bad comparatively. But Jackson's a 75, Stamper's a 73. Paxton, I don't know how he's this bad. Looks really bad against the run. I guess that'll matter less at corner. Hopefully it doesn't go down at all. I guess it doesn't really matter either way. And then Byers is a 71. And then obviously I remembered to take the rest of the picks this year. Cameron Gallery, I'm surprised he is this bad. He was ranked like 300 and something. I took him because he had good acceleration and he had A pursuit. I guess everything else is just so bad that he's a 61. I didn't think he was great, to be fair, but I thought he would be like a 66 or something. But yeah, not a horrible draft, not amazing, just I don't know if there was much else we could have done, so maybe it was good for the options we had. Am I tweaking? There was an update for Madden this morning. When I do generate best lineup, it doesn't start Mekhi Becton, it starts Fitzpatrick, who at right guard is only a 66, but he's a 73 at left guard? What? Why is it trying to start him? Mekhi Becton is actually a right guard on the roster. What? And like Shaughnessy, he's a 61 at left tackle, but only a 58 at right tackle. Does it have something to do with like scheme fit? Is that what the update was? Or is this just another one of the 5 trillion bugs that are in Madden? Probably. Yeah, like Becton's only a 70 at center. I don't know, whatever. I don't know, franchise that says fix something with the offensive or defensive coordinator when someone leaves the league. Updated an issue with the Super Bowl logo. I don't think I've ever seen that. Probably because I never make the Super Bowl in franchise because the game hates me. Coachability, typos, stability issues. Looks like that's probably just a bug. Fun. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into year 4. Forgot what year it was for a second. I hope I'm starting all the right players. I think I am. It didn't try to start anyone else weird, just Fitzpatrick over Becton. I don't know. But we're looking okay. Defense is only a 79 overall. I don't know why our cap space is still this bad. Like, we're not paying that many players anymore. I mean, we kind of are, but soon we won't be. I'm sure DK Metcalf will be cheaper soon, at least. He's set to get 63 mil in 2029. Yeah, he'll definitely be cheaper. He'll be off the team. That's probably because we've restructured him so much. AJ Brown will be 73 mil. Fun. How about Jordan Mailata? Only 27 mil. This is the last year of his deal. Okay, we'll have to... Next year, I think we will finally have cap space. I hope. This has been a weird rebuild. I guess I call a lot of them weird, but this one definitely has been. But yeah, we're gonna start Joey Jackson at running back. We'll see how he does. Hopefully about 4.6 yards per carry. I doubt he'll get that in the regular season, but but let me hope, let me dream. And then the defense is about the same, just a little worse. Just lost more players, didn't really add anyone. But let's get to the midseason point. And it is 2028, so we might be 2-5 at the midseason, I'm not gonna lie. What did they do to overalls? Why is the highest overall gadget player only a 73? And it's AJ Brown. I think he would be a pretty good, like, gadget type player. One of the best rack receivers in the league. I don't know, whatever. Okay, no, we are 4-2 at the midseason. Good. I feel like we've been beating the 2028 curse lately, thankfully. Anthony Richardson doing super well. Joey Jackson. I guess he has a really long rush and hasn't had that many rushing attempts. I guess we've only played 6 games. Only star dev, but I mean, that's what I expected. Could win offensive rookie of the year, though. That would be nice. Ooh, Monk isn't doing great at right tackle. But now I don't know if I can bench him for anyone, because if I put a lineman on a different side of the offensive line, they're going to be like a 60 overall. Like, maybe this is intentional, but I don't know if it should be this big of a drop. I don't know. We'll just leave Monk in. Leo Chenal is our sack leader this year. All right, good thing I set edge as our focus position for the draft. But for re-signings this year, do we have cap space? 15 mil. No, okay. We have to re-sign Jordan Mailata, Anthony Richardson, Luther Burden, who I don't even know if I don't know if I've said his name once. Jalen Ramsey is probably going to retire, and then the rest is mostly backups. But I mean, we can't really afford either of these two. We can afford Burden, maybe. We probably should pay him because Metcalf and Brown are getting up there, but I don't know if he would want to come back on this deal. He doesn't take it. This might be the worst cap space dilemma we've ever been in a rebuild. Other than like maybe some realistic rebuilds, but eventually we can get out of it then. In this one, it's been constant. But all right, let's get to the end of the year. Let's hope we can keep this good play up because we might lose some good players this year. Again, stay tuned to find out if we win a Super Bowl in this rebuild. We're close. We've been good every year. It's just been a little bit of a struggle. But all right, once again, we go 13-4. Let's hope that can translate to playoff success. That's what I care about here. Anthony Richardson in hopefully not his final year here, 3,700 yards. I mean, we'll tag him regardless. It'll be fine. 38 touchdowns, 9 picks. He was really good. 1,200 yards, 4.9 per carry, 9 touchdowns for Joey Jackson. You know, if there was a franchise update, hopefully they made it so there aren't running backs that do absolutely horribly. I guess there still were some, but I don't know. I doubt it. But again, let me hope, let me dream. Hopefully offensive rookie of the year, that would be huge. But AJ Brown, 1,100 yards, 14 touchdowns. Luther Burden, 800 yards, 12 touchdowns. And then Chenal led the team in tackles again. 12 TFLs for Vea led the team, and 12 sacks. I don't know what has gotten into him. 3 out of 4 years in this rebuild, he has had more sacks than he has ever had in his career, in a single season at least. But 9 sacks for Keon White, 7 again for Leo Chenal. I'm not playing him at edge. I don't know why he's getting so many sacks. But Velasco, 4 picks. Good year for him. And then 1 for 5 different players. But MVP goes to Patrick Mahomes. Anthony Richardson at 7. But let's see. Offensive Rookie of the Year does go to Joey Jackson. That's huge. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, unfortunately, goes to Cam Brewer on the Steelers. Escobar at 5. Isn't he like a 63 overall? Or no, Escobar's decent, I think. Well, decent is a stretch, but better than the 61 that one linebacker was. Ooh, Wooten developed. He was pretty good, I guess. He got a lot of tackles. That's mostly it, but at least got tackles. But all right, can this be our year? We at least get one more chance next year, but I would like for it to not have to come down to that. We are going to be taking on our division rival, the Cleveland Browns, at 9-8 in the divisional. If this isn't a loss in Madden, I don't know what is. Oh, I thought that quarterback's last name was Watson. I was like, that's a bold move. They also are paying Mac Jones a decent bit of money to be their backup. They also still have Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel. That's a QB room. But all right, let's simulate this game. Can we make the conference championship for the first time since year 1? We lose 27-14 to the 9-8 Browns. We get one more chance. That's all I'm giving us. Looks like Lamar retired from long snapper on the Jets. But all right, we have $6 million cap, and we have to re-sign Jordan Mailata, Anthony Richardson, Luther Burden. Can we release DK? I would save 35 mil. Probably got to do that. Is there anyone else we can release? I probably don't want to release AJ Brown. Mekhi Becton, he's been pretty good, but I don't know if that's just because of the playbook. He'd probably be more expensive in free agency. All right, I think for the final year, we're not going to have a free agent class either. Let's see. Can we get Jordan Mailata back? We'll go 3 years, 103. 103, maybe even more, just because I don't want to risk it. 104. He does take it. Let's restructure him. And all our players. Vita Vea still didn't retire. That's crazy. Or Jalen Ramsey. But all right, we're back up to 32 mil after restructures. We'll try to re-sign Luther Burden. We'll go very player-friendly. He should take this, I think. 5 years, 107. We do need him. Like, he'll be our number 2 this year. He does take it, thankfully. Ramsey, we can probably let go. Everyone else is just depth. I guess Harrison Mevis will keep. And we might as well spend this money. Let's keep Joe Milton, sure. But all right, we're going to go way into the negatives here. But all right, let's tag Anthony Richardson. Not going to be cheap. 1 year, 74. Negative 69 mil in cap. Nice. Once again, no free agency. Let's get to the draft. But all right, in our final draft, we pick at number 28. 49ers have the number 1 pick. Love to see it. I don't know what we are going to do this year. I guess I never know in the draft what we're going to do, but like, we have a few needs. Why does it keep? Where did it put our tight end? Oh, I guess at receiver. That's fun. Whatever. I'm getting distracted. We need a receiver desperately. We need probably a corner, probably a defensive tackle, probably an edge rusher. I guess that's it. I did see some good guards. Not that we really need one, but I mean, if they're still here, it would be hard for me to pass up on a top 5 talent. They're both gone. Okay, never mind. I would go with an edge rusher. I guess there is Charles Freeman, but I don't know if he's gonna play that well. We might just be stuck with what we have. Ooh, I think I know what we're gonna do. Ryan Mahone at receiver. 233, I think he's the 2nd biggest receiver. Yeah, I'm surprised he's a 1st to 2nd round talent. He has poor acceleration. I guess he has elite jumping, but I mean, we'll take him. I don't really see much of another choice. Rank 31, got him at 28. Does have hidden. Okay, I'm surprised, but we'll take it. But round 2, I might go with another safety. Hopefully they're not a 67 overall like the last one. Chris McCann looks pretty good. I guess I don't know that he would necessarily be an upgrade though. Wait, is he even big enough? I kind of just didn't look. At 206. Yeah, he is big enough. We also need a defensive tackle, though. Is there one that looks good? None with elite strength. All right, yeah, we'll go with the safety, Chris McCann. I would guess he's like a 73 or something. Ranked 29, got him at 60. Normal dev. That's the most hybrid safety I've ever seen. But all right, probably last pick I'm going to show of the rebuild. I guess we'll take a chance on Elijah June. He looks okay. Rank 127. Okay, I was hoping he would be like rank 60 something, but not great. But all right, here's how we did in our final draft. We got maybe a couple starters, at least one, thankfully. Ryan Mahone, 74 overall receiver. We'll see how he does. Probably won't get used a whole lot, but I mean, we literally had 2 wide receivers on the roster, so I drafted 4 because we won't be able to sign free agents because we're negative 66 mil in cap still. So we had to fill the depth through the draft. I mean, as you usually should. I just like to make high upside, interesting picks usually. But yeah, Mahone's a 74. McCann was a 74 at safety, 73 at corner, and then the rest of the draft is whatever. This receiver at least had hidden, but probably doesn't matter because he's a 66 overall. Did we pick a player above a 74 overall? Oh yeah, we picked a guard that was good. Probably another one too. I feel like this rebuild fried my brain. I don't remember anything. That's probably not good, but whatever. But all right, let's get into the final year and we will see if we can get a Super Bowl win in the final year. I sure hope so. But all right, here is a look at the team heading into the final season. We're actually up to an 86. We went up from the end of last year. I highly doubt we're the highest overall team in the league. There's probably a 90 or something. I think we're one of the lowest. Well, the 49ers are an 83. That's tough. Looks like the highest is the Bills at an 89. So we're not that far behind. The Raiders are an 88. They have Jalen Hurts. But yeah, we're looking okay for the challenge we've had to do here today. I think I said at the start of this rebuild, I figured this would be hard. At least record-wise, it's been really good, but building this team has been really hard. But yeah, the team hasn't really changed much from last year. Joey Jackson did get Superstar Dev, obviously, for winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think the only change is we have Mahone instead of Metcalf. And then on defense, no more Ramsey. But other than that, I think it's exactly the same. So we'll see how we do. Let's get to the end of year 5, and let's hope we don't underperform. But all right, here we are at the end of year 5. And before I show how we did in year year 5. If you've enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out the channel. And if you like Madden rebuilds, that's literally all I do on the channel. So be sure to subscribe, like I said. And question of the day. I've been forgetting to do questions of the day lately, but this is one I don't think I've asked this year so far. But through the first 7 weeks or however many it's been, I think 7, who do you think has been the MVP so far? I think either, you know, Drake May, Sam Darnold, Matt Stafford, and I guess maybe Baker or Dak. Dak has been really good. But let me know who you think down in the comments. I would give it to, man, I don't know, maybe I'm biased, but Sam Darnold doesn't have the best numbers out of the group, but he's been way better than I expected. But yeah, again, let me know who you think down in the comments. But anyway, we are up to an 87 overall at the end of year 5. I was hoping we would go up even, you know, 1 or 2 more overall, but I mean, that's fine. And in the final season, we ended up going 12-5, and we made the playoffs once again. Our defense wasn't that good this year, though, which is fair, again, because our defense still is horrible on paper, but I was hoping it would be a little better. The 7-10 Dallas Cowboys made the playoffs. That's fun. But Anthony Richardson, almost 4,300 yards, 37 touchdowns, 8 picks. Joey Jackson at least hit 1,000 yards. Wasn't as good as last year, but at least hit 1,000 yards. But 1,500 yards, 21 touchdowns, 18 yards per reception for A.J. Brown. He's probably had about that for a few years. Yeah, he had 18.1 in 2027. And then Chenal led the team in tackles for, I think, the 5th straight year in a row, maybe. Yeah, kind of looks like it. I can't remember for sure, but probably. Keon White, 15 TFLs led the team, 11.5 sacks for Vita Vea. Elijah Sims finally had a good year, 11 sacks, 7 for Keon White, and picks, 3 for McCann as a rookie, and Velasco, and then 1 for a couple players. So good numbers. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow wins another MVP. Anthony Richardson, he's been hovering around like the 5-ish range for a few years now, gets 5 again. We'll take that, I guess. A.J. Brown wins Offensive Player of the Year. But let's see, Mahone at 3 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, who has Superstar, by the way. Didn't expect that. And Chris McCann, this might be like the first time we've ever won a Defensive Rookie of the Year with a DB. He does take Defensive Rookie of the Year. Unfortunately, we won't get to see him with Star Dev, but he will get it. But all right, this very well could be the final game of the rebuild. I hope it isn't. I hope we can make the Super Bowl. But we're going to be taking on the Chargers. Once again, the Harbaugh Bowl. But all right, let's simulate this game out against the Chargers. It looks like they had the best offense in the league. We had a better defense than them, though. I guess they only have an 84 overall defense, too. We kind of have similar teams here. But can a team of the biggest NFL players win a Super Bowl? Or is this going to be our final playoff game? Let's see. We do beat the Chargers, and we are on to the divisional. We win 31-16. Now we are going to be taking on the Bills. It looks like we went up to an 88. So we do actually have a pretty good roster. It looks like the Packers, Raiders, Eagles, and Bills are 89s, but the Bengals are a 90 now. Did they even make the playoffs? Okay, yeah, they did. But it looks like they got eliminated, of course. Probably by the 8-9 Dolphins. But all right, only 2 more games stand between us and getting back to another Super Bowl. Can we beat the Bills? We can't. We lose 42-31. Unlucky. Subscribe if you enjoyed.